G'day, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Look what I've got. Foster's, Australian for beer. Apparently you can get it here. I just went to a little grocer that was owned by like an ethnic family, and they had like such overpriced food and whatever. And I seen a 6-pack of this on the shelf. I'm like, what? So yeah, I was talking about classic Australian beers earlier in the day. More talking about craft beer, but here we go. The old macro, Foster's, just in the small can, slightly dented. Probably going to taste like absolute rubbish. I haven't had it probably since maybe in my early 20s or so. I thought I'll go the ultimate pub glass, the little dimple boy. Let's hope it's not too old. What's the percentage on Foster's? I'm guessing it'd be around 4 or 5. Oh yeah, 4.9. The old dirty glass mafia. It's quite clear. Got like a 1-finger head, very light body. Let's be honest, I expected all that. Suppose we should check who's in the chat. Adam, how are you, brother? I weirdly dreamed of this moment. It was always going to happen. Kettleheads, good to see you. Bumpy's mate, I think. Joe, brother, where's the blooming onions when you need them? Anyway, let's dig in. Time for a whiff. Probably going to get no aroma at all. Slightly grainy. Maybe like a touch earthy, but yeah, that's about all you get. There might be like a real tiny hint of lemon, but let's be honest, the aroma is very subtle. I'll probably end up chugging this. Cheers, boys. I'm not sure what size the cans are overseas, but this one is $3.75. Look at it. They even make it look real Australian. I'm sure the cans, like what I've seen everyone else drinking, they seem to be like tall boys. Yeah, on the flavour, it's like a little bit sort of like, it's definitely grainy and bready. $7.50s, that's like twice the size. Oh yeah. Shit, yeah, it's that time of the day. Yeah, it feels like a lot of your imported like macros over there seem to be like bigger cans. $4.40s, yeah. So it's like we've got we've hardly got them. I don't even know how I found this. It was like It was like it's like seeing Treehouse in Australia, seeing this on the shelves. But yeah, like back in the day, I reckon there was like just your normal size bottles and then the bigger cans. But it seems like we've got the smaller cans, the UK's got the mid size, and then America's got the big boys. Yeah, true. Because it's like absolute splendid quality. Yeah. I could actually see that being a thing, like a lot of festivals and that in the UK. I bet you Foster's and Carling are probably like the beers that you always see. At ours, it's always Carlton Draft, or like up north, probably like Forex or Great Northern. Now my dogs are going nuts. But yeah, it's certainly not rocking my socks, that's for sure. I just had to, as soon as I seen, I'm like, I have to get that, and I have to put it up on YouTube. Metal bottles. Yeah, Carlsberg seems to be popular there. What about Heineken? See, a lot of our sporting events, you'll see Heineken, especially like the tennis and stuff. Like, yeah, it's actually like today, like I was out in the sun before for like an hour or so. It's like really nice out there. Like I don't know, like a macro, like I had it was a new Peroni beer. Like most of that stuff's trash to me, but I had like I think it was Peroni Madri or something, one of the new ones, and yeah, like it tasted actually all right. Like compared to something like this, it just blows it away. I would say it's worse than I remember it. But I think when I was in my early 20s, I probably only had like a little bit of craft then. Back in those days, like early 20s, I felt like I was still at that excited stage about beer, wanting to try all the beers, but it'd be all like macro beers. So I'd be like, oh, awesome, Heineken, like, oh, Grolsch, Beck's. Like, you'd think it's rad that you're trying all these beers, but they're all just macro beers from different countries. I still, yeah, as far as like international macros go, I still don't really know what my favourite would be. I feel like, yeah, from what people have said about Miller High Life, I'd be a fan of that. But yeah, in Australia, like the VB, I mean, a lot of people hate on VB, but if you can get a macro beer that's got that old school style, like very bitter and has a bit of like hop character and soul to it, it's like I'm going to pick that every day over something that tastes like water. So, yeah, it'd be like early morning for you, Adam, or maybe mid morning. And Joe, I'm guessing it's like middle of the night. Yeah, I was on miscellaneous stream sort of earlier today, but It's been pretty quiet on YouTube today. Oh, it's all happening. We got the dogs barking. Now we got sirens going on. Yeah, and we're cracking Fosters. Woo! Should have seen this shifty boy in while we're talking about the store where I got Fosters from. You could just tell he'd be one of those greedy like sons that's like a son of the owner, and like probably only lived in Australia for 6 months or something. And they had like a hot food counter. And I'm like, oh, yeah, how much for the roast beef roll, buddy? He goes, oh, $9.50. I'm like, dude, it's been sitting there all day. Have a look at it. It's like, surely you're going to offer it for cheaper or it's just going to sit there. He's like, nah, 9.50. And I said, oh, forget about it. And he goes, oh, we've got these hot dogs here. I'll give you 7 hot dogs for $25. I'm like, why would I want 7 hot dogs? He goes, oh, well, how many do you want? I said, I don't really want any of them, but how many, like, how much would you do for 2? He goes, oh, $13. I go, I'm not paying $13 for 2 hot dogs that have been sitting there all day. So I know why the groceries there are so overpriced. It's ridiculous. But yeah, funnily enough, their beer prices weren't too bad. $10 for a day old gravy roll roast. Dead to me. Yeah, exactly. They're like, you've got this illegally. It's not meant to be sold in this country. Yeah, exactly. I walked in there by myself. What I'm like, what do you reckon? I've got like 5 kids. Like, why would I want any more than 2? Maybe he could smell a little bit of booze on me and thought I was just going to go to town on the hot dog. But the thing was, is when he sort of like offered that price, I thought, oh, maybe I can get him lower. But he's shit bargaining, like it just stopped there. And I'm like, nah, I'm not even going to bother, mate. If you give me 2 hot dogs for maybe $4, I might say yes. But yeah, you're just being a greedy C word. Yes. I'd hate to know what the prices are, like what their normal price is. I mean, you can get a pack of like cocktail frankfurts and a couple of hot dog rolls for about $3 or $4 all up. And this old mate's trying to charge fucking $10 for one. What have they got? Blue cheese on them and German bloody bratwurst. Or... Yeah, just. I read an article today just about how like the cost of living in Australia and the UK is just fucking insane at the moment, like with the taxes and like the shit inflation and that. Yeah, I don't mind shopping at Aldi occasionally. I love when you just pick up some random shit. Like sometimes they'll just have some seasonal releases, and you're like, "Ooh, I wish they had this all the time." it sounds funny saying Aussie Vienna. I picked up some Australian Swiss sausages. The old can is coming to an end. How the hell do you rate a beer like this? On a scale of 100, I give it 43. I don't know. Like, if it comes to Untapped, I feel like most macros and that, like, if it's sort of just like a standard macro, nothing exciting, it's like it'd be hard to sort of score it over, like, I don't know, 275 or three, or I feel like, yeah, it's sort of, I don't know if that's I don't even know if that's like over the top or harsh. I'm at that stage now with a lot of macro beers. Like, I wouldn't even know how to score them. What do you reckon? Their meat shit or something? I don't mind the old Vienna lager, but most of them aren't from Vienna. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, that's when I feel like, yeah, it's one of those, like, as people say, it's like, would you buy it again? And like, yeah, if you've got the choice with this compared to like other macros against it, like, the end of the day, my answer would be no. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's sort of hard to score it. But yeah, in saying that, I feel like there's macros in Australia that have a heap of hype from all the, I don't know, just the non-craft people and the young ones coming through that think these particular beers are great, and I would probably drink Foster's over them. So it's, as far as macros go, it's probably like in the middle. It's like, yeah, it's certainly not a favourite, but it's not like, I've definitely had worse. I reckon 7 hot dogs for 25 bucks. With the state of the hot dogs, I should have got 7 beers for that as well. Cheers, Luke. Good to see you, brother. It'd be nearly coffee time for you. You've probably had about 3 coffees by now. Yeah, I feel like German stuff like that'd be unreal. I can't wait to go to Germany and just like go to some of those big beer halls. And I mean, the ultimate for me is Bamberg, like the smoked beers. Wow. Just to be able to go to Schlenkerla and drink all their shit like from the source would be so unreal. I like the love in the chat. Everyone's getting around, giving each other cuddles. You'd like to think so, shit. The bun would be like fucking stale as though. Yeah, it's because he's a dirty boy. I wish it was a bigger can now. Like, as much as it wasn't anything exciting, I want to keep drinking it. That's when you go like this. Bust out a little vino on the side. You got to prepare for these moments, boys. Would have tried to set up a like a hangout or some sort of live stream, but it's just like a shit time. We'll have to um we'll have to set up that Schling Curler thing soon, boys. Now that yeah, a few of us have got the beers, like now's a good time to do it. Just got to find a time that suits everyone. Even Joshy boy's got one, and he doesn't like smoke, but he's he's gone the OG Hellas, which might I say is quite an underrated Hellas. Northern people definitely pay less in prices. Good on them. Is that the last time you had Foster's, Adam? That surprises me. Or is that just this is just the story that yeah, well I'll be honest, I had Carling recently and that was fucking terrible. Just I don't know, it sort of tasted like tin. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's one of those beers, like it's I don't know, it's nothing special, but it's drinkable. Like yeah, you can't really say it's like it's not like drain pour sort of material like some of them are. Like I mean, if you went to a barbecue and they had an esky there full of cold Fosters and you didn't have to pay for them, like you'd happily sit there and drink them. I don't know if you'd be happily, but mm, I definitely agree on that one. Yeah, the carling I had recently was like quite fresh. I think it was, I don't know why, but we got it in an Aldi store and it was only like, I think it was about 20 something days old. And I thought, fuck, that's pretty good considering it's like an English beer. And yeah, I dove in and I don't even know if that's a word. And yeah, just tasted like tin. And I thought, I can't believe all those Poms drink this shit. Yeah. What, like, out of you boys, like, what's your favourite macro beer? Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those beers I've had sort of like, I don't know, like at restaurants and yeah, I've never sort of seen it in a bottle shop and went, yeah, I'll grab that. And definitely had it before, but yeah, I think I don't know, just whenever I see that name, it just makes me think of when I've been out for dinner somewhere and they've had it on the menu. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get one of them. East Coast IPA. Far from it. I'm thinking about doing the old macro Monday every week. Just bringing up shitty macro beers and sort of in this same format, just do them live and have a little chat. And I've already got like, I mean, obviously I won't do Foster's because I've done that now, but just do beers like VB, Carlton Draft, Forex, like Tui's, Great Northern. Like there's heaps of them to choose from in Australia just to start off and then do some international ones. But yeah, I think that obviously the heart of the channel is going to be hype stuff. You just got to break it up every now and then. Where's that one from, dude? Doesn't sound familiar to me. Must be some holiday destination. Cheers, dude. Good to see you. I hear you're doing a live review sometime soon. I'll have to check it out, brother. It's pretty as long as you get up there and you're not worried about just talking shit, you'll be fine. It's pretty easy. Thankfully, I've never struggled with talking shit. But yeah, obviously it helps when there's people in the chat and you can sort of bounce off each other, and or you got like someone else on the panel with you. One thing I love about lives is yeah, like obviously it's easy. You just jump on. You don't have to worry about editing and stuff. The interaction's the best thing, though. Like it's great just talking shit to people in the chat, and I feel like that's I don't know what because for me it's more about the community and stuff than the actual beer itself. So I think if yeah you're interacting with people, like that's the main thing that's fun for me. But yeah, I think my the biggest thing for me is just going to be trying to find times where I do it, like because yeah, obviously Australia's like time zones so different to UK and US. It's like trying to find that in between that sort of suits different people. When I start getting more Aussie follows, it'll be good. It'll help out heaps. Yeah, true. At the end of the day, though, like, yeah, I don't really care about the numbers. It's just the community for me. And like people say, oh, what's the point of going live? Like no one will watch. But it's like if you get one or two people in the chat that you're mates with and you're interacting with them, like that's all that matters. Like I would rather that than being off air and you're just talking to the people you're with and that's it. Like people like, say you, for example, like, because you've been out of the game for a while, like, when you come into the chat, it's like, oh, cool, Luke John, like, he can't have a beer with us, but he can still come in and chat. And it's like Jimmy C, like, he's on a shit time zone, but you can still, like, it's like people are still there with you, even though they're not on the panel with you. And I just think that's a cool thing. Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's a bad thing with live. Like, you can, like, yeah, you fuck up what you say, or something happens, or yeah, it's like, at the end of the day, like, yeah, who cares? I actually think if you, like, you fuck up or you say something stupid, or an argument or something happens, like, it's showing your real self, like, and people generally like that because, yeah, it's real. I don't like the whole, like, I don't know, like when people sort of hide their, when you see these Instagram models and that, and you only see like picture perfect stuff and like always on holidays and that, like, it's not real, it's fake. Cool. You got any Buffalo Trace, Luke? I bought myself a bottle of Buffalo Trace yesterday, and we were talking about just maybe doing a stream where we just have a glass and sort of review it. I actually thought, like, because obviously my passion's beer, I know my beer, but I'm also like slightly into my like whiskey and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I want to do a little bit of that sort of stuff on my channel, and I sort of thought, fuck, maybe I should have like put that in the name. But yeah, I guess it doesn't really hurt if you're doing it every now and then. The only thing with whiskey though, like, I don't know if it's the same with UK, like you UK guys. I'm pretty sure it would be because you get fucked over with tax as well. But like the American boys were saying, they pay about $30 for bottles of stuff that I pay about 75 for, and everyone's like, "Oh, what about the pay, like the currency conversion and that?" It's like, it's got nothing to do with that. You convert the currency and they're still paying like fucking $20, $30 less. It's the taxes that are the fucking killer. Yeah. That Long Branch, dude. Obviously, I bought a second bottle. I think I had it last weekend and I finished the whole thing. Over Christmas, the thing that makes it hard for me, through the whole of December, I'll have Advent boxes, and they're like, one's from my favourite bar and the other one's from my favourite brewery. So I'll have like two like hyped beers every day through December. And I'll also still be ordering whatever like my favourite breweries like bring out limited releases and stuff. So through December, I get really like sort of overwhelmed with beer, and like I start to get to a stage where I get sick of it. And then the purchases start to slow down because I've got so much. And then the breweries stop brewing because they have their holidays. So it always gets to about the start of January, mid-January, and I've got no beer left. And I end up having to buy like fucking shit like what I was drinking earlier. And it's like it's real weird because I go from drinking all this hype and then all of a sudden, having to like scurry to the supermarket just to get what I can. I mean, it's obviously different for people that live in city areas and have breweries nearby, but I'm in the country, so it makes it hard. So like I think this week, maybe next week's when the brewery starts sort of like pumping out beers again. So yeah, this weekend and last weekend, I feel like I've just had like, I mean, last weekend I did have some good stuff because I had it left over from like weeks before. But yeah, this weekend's been just mostly trash. I've had the occasional spirit and a heap of shitty beers. Shit, now I can't even think where I'm up to with the chat. Yeah, around here, I think. Ooh, a little putty hybrid. That'd be pretty cool. Are you going to go the same hops, dude, or are you going to mix it up slightly? So I'm guessing that's what tonight in you boys' time, or cool. Got to get that dog out there for a walk. I just want to live in the city where I can take my dogs to the brewery. That'd be so fucking rad. Sick of where I live now. It's a shithole. Cool. Yeah, you don't really see a Zaka used that much, like, but yeah, when it is, it's good. Galaxy's always pretty solid. Mosaic and Mosaic's generally good, but it can be miss every now and then. I definitely feel like it's changed in the last few years. Call it like instead of putty with like a heap of T's, just call it like hashtag putty. or putty with two Y's. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it was funny. The last time I had putty, I actually thought it was just the normal one, and it was the double or the triple, whatever the more potent one was with the more T's. I'm like, fuck. Because me and Jagman were talking about doing it together, and I didn't even have the right one. He had like a heap of the normal version. I had the bigger one. It was splendid though. I think I had putty the year before that, and maybe I've had like probably two putties and one of the the bigger one. But yeah, from what I've had I think the last 2 years out of all the UK beers I've had, Track and Cloudwater have been my two favourites. Daya, I feel like what I've had from Daya over the years, like, I don't know, that Daya just didn't excite me like they did a couple of years ago. Yeah. See, one beer I really enjoyed from around that same time, because we had like quite a bit of it come over here, plus a tap takeover. And one beer that was really good, it was a collab between Verdant and Daya. It was around that same time that the Sharks was here, and like a few of the other ones. Yeah, it was fucking awesome. And then I can't remember the Daya beer. It was really good. But yeah, I've had like a fair bit of beak. I've had yeah, some Northern Monk. I mean, Northern Monk's top range stuff's pretty good, but their basic stuff's pretty average. I really want to try Sure Shot. And another one I want to try is I think I said this to Adam recently, is the one in Birmingham where Cadbury and that is. Glasshouse, just because Harry's talked about them a fair bit. Yeah, haven't had Sure Shot yet, mate. Hoping when Adam comes over here in like middle of the year that he might bring some over for me. We're sort of we need to sort of have a bit of a discussion as to what we want to try. I mean, yeah, it's probably as far as Adam trying Australian beers, I'll sort of just try and mix it up for him and give him some guidance, or like actually give him some beers myself, like to try. But yeah, because he wouldn't really know what's good here. But I'm like fairly familiar with the UK scene. Like I keep up with. I'm one of those people, like once I'm like passionate about something, I get right into it. So like I know what the hype is in like UK and US and stuff. And yeah, it's a bit easier in Australia because sometimes you can get it. I reckon it'd be fucking unreal if I could give a couple of the UK boys like maybe a 4-pack of like a really good mountain culture beer, and then 4 of them do like a review together, and I have the same beer. That'd be fucking cool. Choo choo train. Yeah, Azvex. Yep, they're definitely like. If I can get some more good stuff from them, I'd be keen. I have had a little bit from them, so at the end of the day, it's like trying to sort of have stuff that I haven't had, or I feel like I can't get. Like Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing, like Glasshouse to me are one of those breweries where like I feel like I'd never be able to try them unless I went over to the UK. And that's the thing, like it sounds stupid because like Harry's Brewery is like a regional macro brewery and that, but I really, really want to try his beers, like because they're like traditional and just the fact that like yeah, Harry's a great mate and like he's the head brewer. Like I really want to try his stuff. I just wish, yeah, that yeah, there was like a I don't know, they had some cans or something because yeah, it's fucking you can't really bring glass fucking across the world. It's ridiculous, too hard. Firm, firm. That's a train. That's a train that I sometimes get on from Melbourne to home, and I get when I get too messy and fall asleep, I end up going past my stop. Yeah, Azvecs are Liverpool, yeah, or somewhere in that region. From what I remember, I feel like Azvecs were Liverpool and Sure Shot were in that same area as like Track and Cloudwood. And also, one of them has a brewer from somewhere, and the other one has a brewer from somewhere. Might have been Sure Shot was a Cloudwater brewer. Is that correct? And Azbex was like Neon Raptor or something like that. I have a pretty good memory, boys. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like if you could, if there's like an up and coming brewery that you think's going to be hot, that'd be fucking unreal. If like, I could try them in Australia and sort of like be ahead of the game. We'll go, oh yeah, I tried them, and be like, what the fuck? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I thought, and I was pretty sure that I think it was like the head brewer or something from Neon Raptor went to like Azvex or some shit. That would like it sounds like such an awesome day out to do like track cloud water and sure shot all in the one day. Like you'd be lit, but it'd be worth it. So you'd do the three of them, and if one of them does a good meal, you'd have a meal there, and then you'd go to like a local pub or wherever a near pub is, finish off the night with a meal there and a couple of I don't know car scales or something. To be a pretty cool night. Oh man, if he's one of those dudes that's there with his dog and he's having a chat to people, he's my sort of dude. That's rad. It's nothing better than like when you go to a brewery and there's like just dogs hanging out and they're just like come up and like want to pat and yeah, I just love that like laid back sort of family environment. Well, when I say family environment, like you don't want screaming kids there and stuff, but yeah, just I don't know, something cool about dogs at breweries. And when staff are just like real cruisy and up for a chat with the punters, it's always a good thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. So balance is sort of like wild ferment in that same area. That'd be good because it'd break it up a bit. It's a good name. We're just going to balance you out from all the IPAs in the area. Hey, have a little palate cleanser. Yeah, if they're if, if they're bulldogs, yeah, that could pose a problem. Unfortunately, dogs can be as cool as dogs are. They can be like people and not all get on. Yeah, cool. I made a joke about the Bermuda Triangle earlier today. I was on a Canadian stream and they were saying in Florida that the water there is shit and they're surprised that the brewers can make such good beer because of the water. And then I just made a joke that the reason why they do a lot of really good like Florida sours in Florida, like Jay Wakefield, and that is because they get water from the Bermuda Triangle. And one of the guys is like, "Is that real or is he joking?" That's the thing in today's beer world. Something like that could be true. How the hell how do you pronounce that? Llandudno. Yeah, that would have been unreal. Is Baz is he the one that recently gave up, or he hasn't given up YouTube, but he's just sort of stepped away? Is that the one? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'd never really come across him. So there'd be a lot of people like I might not be real familiar with. Like I might have just seen him pop up occasionally, but yeah, he was one I didn't really know him. See, like people like I don't know, say yourself, Simo, rate my beer. Like, yeah, I'd sort of see you guys pop up in like Craig, so that's how I sort of got to know you guys. Or even maybe Raggy, maybe it'd pop up in his. But yeah, his channel, I wasn't. Yeah, I remember like Simo talking about him, and I wasn't really familiar with him. But that's the beauty of YouTube and the beer community, everyone coming together. Anyway, I should. As much as I love to keep talking shit and going on and on. I should probably end the stream here. So yeah, Foster's. It was good to try it again, but I won't be rushing out again to get it. So yeah, thanks everyone for chiming in and checking it out, and always appreciate the banter in the chat. Good times. So on to the next one, and see you next time.